This is WWE superstar Drew McIntyre, and you're listening to the WWE Podcast.
The champ is
the one that everybody wants, me.
It's going to WrestleMania. Claymore!
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass. This is my iron. You're going to acknowledge me.
Everybody, welcome to WrestleMania Night 1 review. I've got somebody back with us that has not been with us in a while, but I had to bring him back because it is WrestleMania season. We bring out the biggest, the best, and we have the Botch Guy, YouTube's the Botch Guy, with us to talk about Night 1 of WrestleMania, a WrestleMania that both of us off-air agreed might be the best, Night 1 at least, WrestleMania that we've seen ever. But before we get there, let's introduce Mr. Botch Guy, the YouTube's very own Botch Guy. How you doing, man?
Hey, Matt, how's it going, buddy? Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, it's great to have you back, and if you guys haven't checked out his YouTube channel, you got to do it, man. It's easy to watch, fun to watch, short videos, so you don't have to have a lot of time commitment, and I don't know if there's anything else you want me to mention about your channel, because you're doing well, and I enjoy the videos you put up, so.
Yeah, I appreciate the plug there. It's always nice. I've been doing YouTube for, I don't know, 3 to 4 years now. I've been on this podcast a few times now. We've actually had a pretty good run for a while, but I did take a little break from a lot of social media, so including like podcast work and Twitter and all that stuff. But I have been doing full time on YouTube, and we have a really nice, respectful community on there. And if the guys watching this show, if you guys want to join in and subscribe, it would be awesome. I'm interactive there quite often, actually pretty much 24/7. So yeah, the Botch Guy on YouTube. I appreciate you having me on the show, guys. This is going to be great.
It is, and the one thing that is great about your community on YouTube is, you guys are all about positivity, which I think is much needed in wrestling these days, and I don't think that's going to be a difficult thing to achieve with Night 1 here of WrestleMania. And I mean, I'm just going to jump in here with the U.S. Championship match, John Cena, Austin Theory. John Cena loses this to Austin Theory in I thought a good match. It's exactly what I thought it should be. It didn't overstay its welcome. It was solid from a mechanical standpoint. It had the right person win in the right way. I don't know. I thought this was just a solid, really good open to WrestleMania. What'd you think?
Well, I loved the entrance right off the bat with John Cena, with all the Make-A-Wish kids there. I thought that was just brilliant. One of the better entrances of the show, and probably that I've seen in a while. It was really well done. John Cena is like just the most incredible person, as a lot of people know. So the match was great. I thought it was like very consistent, like a solid like 7.5, like just a steady Eddie, nice, solid opener where it got people kind of ready for what's to come. And again, like you said, Austin Theory is the winner there, and that's the clear winner. It elevates him to another level, temporarily at least. He can just say, hey, I beat John Cena at WrestleMania. That's always a nice thing to say. And also, I was surprised, the one thing that he didn't steal the attitude adjustment and finish the match with it. I thought that would have been brilliant to use it as a finisher moving on, but overall, I thought it was really, really good.
No doubt about it, and I'm glad you brought up the Make-A-Wish stuff. That was a really cool moment with Cena, and whether you could, some people may make the argument, oh, he's doing it for the cameras. I first of all, I don't think that's the case, but even if it was, it's still an awesome moment to see all the kids out there, and with their hero, and being able to be on the entranceway for the WrestleMania during his entrance. I mean, it was a great moment, and it was emotional. But like you said, the match was steady Eddie. I think that's a great way to put it, because it gave you exactly what you needed to see. If you were looking for a 5-star classic, I mean, this wasn't the one to do it. And I think the placement of this match was really well thought out by WWE, knowing maybe the limitations of John Cena, knowing that he's not going to be able to put on like a Seth Rollins, Logan Paul, or whatever else we saw on the show, because there's nothing else to really compare it to. It's setting the bar for the show. I think it was a very smart move. The crowd was fresh They're ready to go. It was a great finish with the low blow and then the A-Town down and off we go. So I thought this was a perfect conclusion to the beginning of the show. And we didn't get any AAs, right? I mean, did John Cena even hit an AA during the?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
So I thought maybe after the match he'd do it, or at least get one in, and the ref wasn't there, or I don't know, something like that. But he hit the STF, but that was it. So I was surprised, no AA.
Yeah, there was no AA there. Not that I remember. Maybe there was one. Like maybe I missed it. But what's funny about that match is that was considered, in my opinion, the worst match of the night, which is hilarious because it was a really good match.
Right. That says something about the rest of the card, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So speaking of the rest of the card, let's keep moving because we then got the Fatal 4-Way men's showcase tag team match that saw Braun Strowman and Ricochet, Street Profits, Alpha Academy, and the Viking Raiders. I'll toss this one to you, sir. What did you think about this one?
That was an absolute clinic to showcase, and I love that it was called the showcase match, to showcase these guys. First of all, I don't know who booked this match. Whoever booked this match is a genius. He made literally every single wrestler look strong there. From the Street Profits is obvious, the big setup near the end with the big splash. You had, of course, the Braun Strowman Ricochet moment when he was doing the choo-choo train, and obviously that crazy spot with like the 8. What was it? All the guys together doing that jump spot with the little suplex on near the ropes there and pole there, which was brilliant. Of course, even the Street Profits there with Angelo Dawkins absolutely destroying Braun Strowman when he was doing his train. Oh my God, it was so good. And it's good to mention that Titus O'Neil was on commentary. I thought he did a really good job selling some of the big moves, especially. And then obviously Alpha Academy, Otis had a couple of good moments, but of course, the big suplex spinning. What do you call that even? The Chad Gable one where he did it on Braun, the rolling suplex.
It was like a rolling German?
Yeah, rolling German, yeah. Man. Oh, it was so clean, and he deadlifted him at the end there. And then you had, Ivar, doing the moonsault, right? Was it Ivar or Eric? I don't remember. I think it was Ivar doing the moonsault. Oh, it's just crazy. And then obviously Ricochet at the end. Like I said, there was the fact that I'm naming spot after spot after spot tells you how good it really was. And I wasn't hyped going into this whatsoever. And if the rest of the card wasn't as good as it was, this could have been the night of the match of the night, but it just kept on getting better.
It shocked me because this, I'm sorry, when you look at this, most people looked at this as kind of a total throwaway. I mean, like it's a match that the tag teams that are on Raw and don't have anything else going on get to be on in the showcase, and it's like, all right, you kind of know what you're going to expect, probably a solid match, and the babyface wins. It was almost like they treated this like the main event. Like every one of these guys that were in this match, threw their body, caution to the wind. It was just from start to finish. It was when I say spot fest, I don't mean that in a typically negative way. When you hear somebody describe a match as a spot fest, that usually means it's been degraded down to just, they're just doing big moves to, compensate for the lack of a story. It's weird when I say this time that it was a spot fest, but in the best way, if that makes sense. Like you mentioned, all those spots that happened were just, unbelievable. The shooting star by Ricochet from the top rope to the outside of the ring. Michael Cole was in shock. It was beautifully executed. Very high risk stuff that these guys don't need to be doing, but did. And it started off with that rolling German from Chad Gable to Braun Strowman. That absolutely, the crowd was like, oh my God. That instantly, that one move turned Chad Gable probably into a babyface. But this was awesome. I have no problem with the Street Profits winning. To me, it didn't really matter so much who wins because there was nothing on the line, just kind of pride and maybe who's next to come into the tag team title picture. But yeah, can't agree. This was a really good match. Totally blew the expectations out of the water.
And what was great is when Ricochet, when he did that jump, he actually kind of overshot it, and he had to stop himself, yes. Which in midair, I don't think I've ever seen that where a guy overshoots himself and then he knows he still has time to kind of adjust his reaction to kind of protect himself while he's still midair. It was so cool, man. You're right, it was a spot fest, but and it's a showcase. Like, it was literally as advertised as a showcase match. And if you're going to do a showcase, then I think a spot fest actually works in that situation. The problem with some spot fests, like for example, when the Young Bucks do it, they build up these big, matches with storytelling, and then they just start doing all these flippity flops. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. Where this one, it just seemed more of a natural build, and the way they did it, like they're taking turns too. Like, it was really well done.
No doubt. It's like they had been practicing this for months, and I mean, I don't like when I feel like they're rehearsed, but in this case, like you mentioned, it's a showcase. It's supposed to be the greatest hits, the best efforts that everyone can put in, and that's exactly what this was. Luckily, no one was hurt, given the size of some individuals doing things, and I've got nothing bad to say. And again, the Street Profits coming away with the victory is. I didn't predict them. I thought the Viking Raiders were going to win, but I don't have a problem with the Street Profits winning either, because I thought actually the Street Profits were on their way out. I thought they were on their way to Splitsville, and they still could be, but now they're in the conversation for a tag team title shot, you would imagine, and we'll get to that a little bit later on about the new tag team champions. But any final thoughts on this match before we move on?
I need to mention it again. The Angelo Dawkins train stopping move was just. Dude, he absolutely killed him. It was insane. Like, you need to go back and watch it, like, really, on the replay. The impact, you can actually hear just the smack onto Braun, like, taking all the wind out of him. It was so good. It's just a great match, man.
I'm sensing a new video for your channel, right? Like, for the it sounds like one of the videos you create for your YouTube channel, but no, I agree. I did not watch it back, but now you're going to make me do it, because I paid attention to it and I'm like, wow, that was insane. And then the next spot came up, so I didn't have time to really absorb it. So yeah, that's a great idea. So, all right, Seth Rollins, Logan Paul was next. And boy, this one was also as advertised. The story was a little bit better than the showcase match, as you'd imagine, but the entrances here, we had Logan Paul come out on a zip line a la Shawn Michaels. I mean, like, I was thinking of Shawn Michaels, for WrestleMania 10 or whatever it was. So that kind of gave me flashbacks for that. And the crowd was booing him, and rightfully so. And then Seth had an orchestra conductor come out, and everyone sang to his tune before he came out. And boy, it was all about his entrance music. That entrance music has got people on fire. And Seth Rollins comes out in like I don't even know what you call it, just like he looked like he was wrapped up in a big red bow or something, and just the most ridiculous things ever. And I don't hate it. That's Seth Rollins, and so the entrances were good. And I'll just pause it there and let me get your thoughts on the entrances and the match.
Yeah, so first of all, the zipline thing, I don't know what he was doing, but I liked it. I thought it was great. The whole time I was thinking, I'm as a YouTuber and you as a podcaster, I'm sure you must have appreciated the amazing microphone attached to him that was able to hear him so clearly while he's zipping down. I'm like, man, that's a good mic. It didn't stop at all. I thought that was I noticed these weird things. So that was great. And then obviously, you had everybody sing along to Seth Rollins. The thing about Seth Rollins, like, has he ever had a bad theme?
Never.
Like, the Monday Night Messiah was amazing. The one he's doing right now is really, really good. And obviously his original. Then you have the Shield. Like, I don't think he's ever had a bad theme song. So it's nice to see. And then as for his outfit, I thought he was doing like, he's a present, and then he opened up his present, and he's a stripper.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's like unstripping. Like, I thought that's kind of what he was going for. Mm. It's ridiculous, and I definitely wouldn't have thought he was going to do that. As for the match itself, like, man, Logan Paul, remember, he's still a celebrity wrestler. I know he signed a contract, but like, as a celebrity wrestler goes, as someone who wasn't in the indies, who didn't start doing wrestling until last year, it's insane how talented this guy is when it comes to wrestling and the way he sells and the trash talking. Like, he gets the business. It works so well for him. It's actually kind of scary. I know he's a bit of an idiot, but it's crazy how natural he is as a heel in this industry. It really is.
he has caught on so quickly. And look, we have no idea behind the scenes how much work he's putting in. It seems like an enormous amount of work, whether you love him or hate him, from a personal perspective. I mean, I'm not generally a big fan of him from things he's done, but I mean, that's really irrelevant because he's clearly putting in the work to understand this business, and he's picking up on it at an insane pace, and he gets it. He's young. He's 28 years old, 28, 29, whatever it was, and he has taken bumps, and he looks the part, and he feels like a heel. They have put him in a perfect position. At first, they tried to make him a babyface, and I knew immediately. I go, that's a bad idea. People are going to reject him, and they did. But they slot him into a heel, and it's a great place for him to be. And he worked very well. He looks like he's been doing this for 10 years. The spot with the Prime mascot was with KSI in there was unexpected and hilarious. Having the KSI guy get splashed as Seth Rollins rolls out of the way at the last second was a funny spot. I enjoyed that. But overall, this was a very well done, as expected. I predicted this would be a match of the night candidate, and you could make the case that it is in the conversation.
Yes, but like we know as the show went on, my lord, this show, it really is. Like, it was a special WrestleMania. And like, this is just night one, right? And it's like, if this ended, like, I would be completely 100% satisfied. They overachieved in this pay-per-view. Like, I said it to, my community, I said it to my friends, and I think I said it to you. Yeah, I did say it to you, like, I was going into this card thinking it's a good card. It's a good technical wrestling card, but like storyline-wise, I don't know, right? Well, they really delivered on pretty much everything, and this match was, it was good. It was just another great match from Logan Paul and Seth Rollins, and Logan's Paul especially. He's opening my eyes. Remember, he had a match with Roman Reigns, and it wasn't bad. Like that, the moment that happened, like that was it. That was it for me.
Yeah, I think Michael Cole made a good comment during the match and said, at what point are we going to stop being surprised by him? Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. And I think we also need to get away from calling him a YouTube star. The YouTube star is taking down Seth Rollins. I'm like, yeah, but he's done a whole lot of other stuff. Like, he's an accomplished athlete. He went toe to toe with Mayweather. He is a good boxer. I mean, to say the very least. He's picked up on this business incredibly quickly. Like, I mean,
I'll say this, Matt. Let me say this, Matt. Like, I think specifically they want to keep mentioning as a YouTube star is because KSI was featured in this match, who's also a YouTube star, and they wanted to kind of play off that they're buddies, and I think maybe that's why they keep mentioning it. But at the same time, like, it's like if Mr. Beast suddenly started to show up at WrestleMania, it's like Logan Paul times a million, right? And, I think they would mention as a YouTube star. And I do get it, what you're trying to say. Maybe he's just to be a wrestler, but it's his gimmick. Like, his gimmick is the YouTube star.
Yeah.
Defying expectations.
I get it, and he's got, they said 23 million subscribers, all that, and that it is just mind blowing and all that, and good for him. But I also don't want it to be, my personal opinion, I don't want it to be a long term identity for him. I mean, like, The Miz is still shaking off being a reality star. He's still shaking off the real world. Sure. Like, I still look at The Miz and I'm like, for all his accomplishments, I don't know why I just can't shake the feeling of him being just a reality star coming on from MTV. I mean, I don't think that's his whole thing, obviously, in my mind, but it's just I think there's a ceiling with that type of label on someone. That said, Logan Paul has achieved an incredible amount of success in just a short time, and I don't know if he's going to go full time. He seems to be kind of doing the Roman Reigns schedule where he does like every a few pay-per-views every 6 months, and we'll see. But I don't know if he's going to make it a full-time gig. If he does, he could be very successful, but he's got a lot of other side projects. I mean, who knows what his contract says. So final thoughts on this?
No, I think that's
cool.
Good.
All right. The 6-woman tag team match with Alita, Trish, and Becky versus Damage Control. I'll toss it to you first.
Another just really good match. This is probably like one of my least expected matches that I was looking forward to this card. I haven't been a big fan of the whole Becky Lynch, Lita, Trish Stratus thing, and Damage Controls doesn't have a lot of momentum going, but they had a lot of really good spots here as well, and I felt all the ladies just once again, it's this pay-per-view, like I'm telling you, it was just, they did a really good job emphasizing some of the most important parts of their characters and maybe their ability levels at the, especially with, Trish and Lita, they're not full-time wrestlers or anything like that. I did expect that Trish was going to turn heel at the end, but that never did happen. So I don't know. What did you think?
Yeah, I'm with you. I thought the heel turn was coming too. I thought it would make sense, but I'm thinking if she turns, well, the problem is who's she turning on, because then you have the tag team champions of Lita and Becky. Is she going to challenge just one of them? And does she ever find a partner to challenge them for the tag belts? It would get kind of weird. But I get it. I understand why they would have done it. And there's still time to do it because Lita and Becky are still women's tag team champions, and they still have time, maybe at Backlash, where that's when Lita, Trish comes out to try to even the odds again, and bam, she turns on Becky or something. But that said, this match, I feel bad for the ladies here because they had to follow what was already, very, very high quality wrestling in terms of Seth Rollins and Logan Paul, and then the tag team showcase match. So I felt bad for their position because it was impossible to reach that level. So, if there was a low light, if, you forced me to pick one, this would be it. But I'm not complaining about this match. It was better than I thought it would be because I didn't have high expectations given the limitations of Lita and Trish. And the story I didn't really care a whole lot about. And as you said, Damage Control has been ice cold for a long time now. So that all kind of put together, I was like, let's see what they can do. And they brought me in. And, I think that hopefully at this point, though, can we finally say Damage Control is dead? I mean, is that possible given that Lita, Trish, and Becky won? I mean, do you think they're going to survive this?
I'm not 100% sure, to be completely honest. What do you think?
I hope not. I mean, just because I think each of those women, Dakota Kai, Io Sky, and Bayley, could do much better solo. I mean, like, we have enough factions, Lord knows, in WWE right now. So I don't think it's a positive to keep them together. The fans are ready for them to all move on separately, I think. And this probably was the definitive nail in the coffin of this group. I hope but that's just my own brain. So
have you, I know this is like completely out of nowhere and I'm not sure if it's even mentioned on the podcast, but The Rock just did a massive tease on his YouTube.
He did? What did he do?
He literally just teased potentially showing up against the Bloodline.
Well, okay, I have been, I know we're, if I have been, and I've been embarrassed for it's been going 2 years now. It's like a running joke on my show because there have been many perfect opportunities for The Rock to come back. And yes. I have been embarrassed time and time again because it doesn't happen, and then it doesn't happen, and it doesn't happen. And I said to everybody on my show, I said, this is the last time that I am predicting The Rock to come back ever. Like, I mean, because my reputation is torn to shreds at this point. I've got just maybe a thread left of respect when it comes to The Rock's prediction coming back. So, yeah, that gives me encouragement, okay? Because this is it for me. I'm on a ventilator here at this point. Yeah.
Well, I'll say this: like, the fact that he's doing this makes me think it's not going to happen, or it'll happen on Monday Night Raw. So like this, I don't think, because we'll get to the
yeah.
Well, I guess maybe the night 2 stuff, but like I do feel like he was going to show up at the end of night 2, but now I'm thinking probably not after this.
Yeah. All right. Well,
because why would he do it, right? Like, it would be no sense.
It would make zero sense. All right. Well, after we get through our review here, I'll toss it to whatever's going on there. We can discuss the Rock Bloodline stuff.
Yeah, sorry.
No.
Just literally popped up.
You need to keep me abreast of these things. All right, let's get to the next match here. We're rolling through. Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio. I'll give my quick thoughts on this. I mean, really well done. The family being there, the crowd was so into everything. They hate Dominic, and it's beautiful to see. Rey Mysterio and Dominic worked as well as you could have imagined together. The vehicle, there was a nod to Rey Mysterio's, obviously one of his best friends ever, in Eddie Guerrero. Having Dominic out there and berating his family again in front of Rey was fun to watch. They all acted very well. I thought they didn't overact. I don't think Aaliyah and his wife overacted. I think they played their part perfectly, and Dominic telling them to shut up. It made me laugh, not in a real way, but like in a storyline way, seeing Dominic.
You're a terrible person.
Like, yeah. Somebody out there is going to think, yeah. But no, it was just so much fun to see Dominic get 619 twice. Of course, Damage Control. The Judgment Day comes out, and they try to do what they've always done with Dominic and help him. Of course, Legado del Fantasma comes out and got a nice pop from the crowd, probably the biggest pop they've ever had. So good on them. And they even the odds, and then wham, 619, and good night the lights, and Rey Mysterio gets that victory. The only thing I thought that was going to happen that didn't is Rey Mysterio getting his heat back quickly after the loss, where he would pretend to, see the light and shake his dad's hand and, pretend to want to hug him and, oh, I'm so sorry, Dad. And then he would turn on his dad again and leave him laying, because that would be a Dominic thing to do. And that didn't happen. I'm not sad about that, but I guess that's the only thing that I thought was going to happen that didn't. But I'll toss it to you.
Wow, so much to get into. First of all, let's not kid ourselves. Sami Zayn storyline with the Bloodline was the best storyline leading up to Elimination Chamber. It was special. It was incredible. But Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio is the best storyline leading up to WrestleMania. The way they built this is brilliant. It was so well done all the way through the entire build, even leading up to the Hall of Fame. It was so perfect. The entrance, the homage there to Eddie Guerrero, having Snoop Dogg involved, the lowrider, having Dominic come out with a mask, it's just, by the way.
Oh, God, his entrance with the prison.
Right in a mask.
In his prison entrance? Oh, my God.
Yeah, and then the prison entrance was good. It's just hilarious because the whole story, right? Like, because, he's there, he's like, it's ridiculous,
oh,
right?
It's awesome. It's exactly what in his brain he went through. Yeah. And it was awesome.
It was so good. And then the match. And the match lived up. It was great. It was a great match. Getting the family involved is always a good idea, especially when it comes to this type of stuff. And just having Bad Bunny involved is good for the social media and the marketing for sure at the very end there. And I thought it was pretty well done. But I am surprised I had Dominic Mysterio getting the win over Rey, because I thought Dominic was going to retire Rey Mysterio. I thought Dom was going to get this win at the very, very end. Rey was going to grab the microphone and said, you know what? No way better ending my career than having one against my son, and just doing something like that. And that's it. And then I thought that was going to be the end. And then Dom maybe taking him out one last time type thing. I thought that was going to be it. But no, Rey Mysterio wins. So what happens now? Like, how do they do this? I'm guessing they go on SmackDown and do what you did, what you said.
It could, what I said was going to happen at the end of the match could happen exactly at SmackDown, where Dominic comes out, he's kind of humbled. It looks like, he's been just kind of transformed into where he used to be with his father, and just seeing like he's just totally disheveled. And then I think he turns on his dad. If they want to continue with the Backlash, that's probably where they go. And I don't see any reason why they couldn't. But I see your point, too. Like, I've heard other people predict that, where they were going to say, hey, this is the end of Rey Mysterio's career. What better way to go out than with a match with his son? And I totally agree. I mean, my God. They said it only happened one other time. I was trying to think of what was that other time? Who was the other father-son match? I feel like I should know this. I don't know who it is. So I'm not putting you on the spot. I just don't know. So
I don't know. No, sorry.
Yeah. So if you can Google it while we're chatting here.
I will Google it right now.
Because they said, I'm like, I thought for sure they'd be like the first time ever. I'm like, and they said this for only the second time in history. I'm like, who the hell was the other one then? It's obviously, I don't know, but yeah. So I agree. Great match, great ending, perfect finish. Crowd was there, everyone was on board, and I loved it. So, all right, well,
there was a flub though with the Rey. I'm not sure if you saw it on social media.
No.
So terrible. And he apologized for it right away, too. He's like, this is for all the parents out there that wanted to hit their sons or something. It was yeah, he said that. I was like, well, I read it. I read that he said it, and apparently he apologized. I don't know if it was like an April Fool's thing or not, but like, but then it was like so well, like the thumbnail was so well nice. I'm like, oh my God, maybe he did say it, but I think maybe it was fake. So I'm just going to say it was fake, but if that was true, like, oh my, it's terrible.
Either
at the same time, like, it's just the way the story gone, like, I guess it kind of makes sense, but I don't know. I wouldn't have went that far for sure.
Either way, hilarious, yeah. And I just need to see this. Even if it's fake or not, like, I need to see this. So, all right.
Anyways.
Well, all right. Well, while you're digging that up, if you ever find out what that other match was with father-son, but
I can't find it.
All right, no, all good. Somebody out there that's listening, just send it to me, guys. I mean, text me or rather send it to me on Twitter. Who was the other father-son match? Because apparently there was one, according to Michael Cole. All right. SmackDown Women's Championship, my God, here we go. Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, and I'm not going to go into detail. I'll let you do that. But I just will say on a high level, from an expectation standpoint, I went into this going, all right. I was kind of sad they didn't go Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair. And by the way, good luck to Bianca and Asuka for trying to match this. It ain't gonna happen. But I went into this going, all right, cool. It'll be a solid to good to very good match. And it'll probably see Rhea Ripley win. And I actually thought the crowd would be with Rhea, and boy were they. Because if they had Charlotte win this, it would have been a complete riot in the crowd. I mean, there was no other option here. This, to me, was nearly a slam dunk decision. There's almost no other way you could go with Charlotte retaining here. Like, you just can't do it unless your goal is to turn Charlotte completely heel and flip Rhea completely babyface. But, I mean, that almost happened anyway, given the crowd dynamic. But overall, I mean, oh my God, completely blew this out of the water. If I was going to say, from a 5-star perspective, 5 being the most perfect match you could ever have, I'd give it like a 4.5. I mean, it was just absolutely blew my expectations out of the water, and I'll leave the rest to you.
I would go higher.
Wow.
I made just sort of plug my channel here, but I literally made a video on this. I titled it Historic, and I also titled it The Match That Is Going to Go Down in History. I think this is the greatest female wrestling match in the history of WrestleMania, and probably top 3 wrestling matches for women's in the history of WrestleMania, or in the WWE. I think maybe I would even put this in my top 10, maybe even probably my top 5. I would have to really go back, maybe top 5 matches of all time. I can't tell you enough about how they turned a match with a storyline that, no offense, nobody gave a bleep about. Nobody cared about the storyline. It was not well done. The booking of it was, or the way they built it was very generic. It wasn't well done whatsoever. And they turned that storyline. They said, you know what? Screw the storyline. We're going to create our own storyline in the middle of a match. And boy, did they ever. The back and forth between the two, I thought every kickout was extremely realistic and could have ended the match. The face plants from Charlotte Flair was nasty. Some of the moves that were done by both the ladies were nasty. The work rate, it was high pace. You ever watch that Adam Sandler movie with the gambling on Netflix? I forgot what it's called, man, but it's like almost like watching an anxiety attack happen because it's just nonstop, just in your face action. And it felt like this is a match where you have the crowd saying, fight forever. I never wanted this match to end. It was, and this is between Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. Now, don't get me wrong, Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair are immensely talented people. I think I've said actually on this show before that Charlotte Flair is going to go down as the greatest female wrestler of all time. I said that way before a lot of other people were saying it. And I'm telling you, there's something about Charlotte in the big moments where she just shines, and Rhea matched her, went another level with her. It was special. 5 out of 5 doesn't do it justice. I think I would honestly, you know how Meltzer likes to go with the higher than 5 stars. You go 6, you go 7. I don't care what you go, but that's going to go down as the greatest female wrestling match of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say that that's absurd. That's not. The emotion coming out of this. What I like to do too is when I come off of matches like this, like for example the Sami Zayn Roman Reigns match in Montreal, that was probably one of the most emotional and real and just raw, perfect to me, perfect time for the belt to be transferred. That kind of thing. I like to just usually take a few days or a few weeks and just let it sit and let it digest before we get caught up in the emotion of it, because when it's fresh and it's new, you tend to be skewed more towards the extremes of how you feel about the match. But I don't think we're going to do that with this one. This was, I mean, I would say I'll agree with you that it probably easily is the best women's match on WrestleMania of all time. That I think is easy, to say. To say it's the best women's match of all time in WWE, I think I would also agree with that. But I don't know if I'd put it in my top 5. I mean, I'd probably put it I'd put it in my top 15 or something like that, of greatest matches of all time, because, I mean, when you put in the greatest matches of all time, I mean, that's a whole nother category of like Rock and Austin, WrestleMania 17, HBK Taker, WrestleMania 25. Like, I mean, you start to get into some rarefied air, but I mean, it's of course a very subjective list. And as far as this goes, man, the face plants, oh my, it's one of those, you're just looking, you're waiting for the referee to put up the X sign, or you're waiting for blood to pour from Charlotte's face, or you're like, I mean, she did go face first. There's no way to, you can't protect yourself there. I mean, even the announcers were,
twice.
Yes, that's the thing too. I thought she was going to be knocked out. I was waiting for the match to be, I mean, I can't give enough credit to Charlotte and to Rhea as well, who showed out in a massive way, easily the best match of her career. The facials, the reactions when she hit Riptide finally, and you're like, oh my God, that's it, she hit Riptide, and with the kick out and her shock that she had on her face was perfect. I mean, this was just from a complete like you could not have expected anything better than this. They blew everything out of the water. The crowd was just on fire, as they should have been. The boo, yay, boo, yay. I mean, they were booing Charlotte because they just wanted to see Rhea champion in her time, end of story, and they got that.
And that Riptide counter into the DDT.
Oh, the spike DDT. Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness. It was so good. And then the Riptide off the top ropes was so good. Also a stiff landing, too. They weren't stiff. Maybe that's kind of why it added some more element to it, more like kind of like more like a fight style. Remember, like when Nia Jax and Charlotte fought for a little bit there, but it was so well done. And I've watched Dragunov versus Gunther. I've watched Kenny Omega versus Okada, the long battles they've had. Even the Daniel Bryans versus the Kenny Omega. I've watched wrestling for a long time recently, and then also back in the day, I've seen The Rock. I've seen a lot of these legendary matches, like The Undertaker in the Steel Cage against who was it? Triple H with Shawn Michaels as the referee, right? I've seen like some of these most legendary matches of all time, and I'm telling you, there was something. It felt like that was one of the matches that I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. And isn't that what it's kind of all about?
This is a match that I can't give it a better compliment than this, is that it's one of those matches that makes you remember why you're a wrestling fan. It makes you, like, because you see, I mean, let's be honest, like, not everything's great. It's not. I mean, I complain about a lot of stuff that happens in WWE still, even with Paul Levesque at the helm, and who knows what the hell Vince is doing backstage. I guess they're gonna keep that.
Apparently has his own office now,
but yet he's not. Yeah. And they say, oh, he's not in creative. I have my ideas that are different. I doubt it, but. That said, it's just one of those matches that if you're ever kind of just down, or you're down as a fan, that you can just go back to and you'll instantly feel good again. It's a clinic. It's, my God, physical. That's what made it great too. Is like, it wasn't. They didn't go soft on each other. They didn't pull any punches. This felt like a fight. It felt like a drag out, but it was also well executed. I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, It probably.
Did I make it change? Did I make you change your 4.5 to 5 stars?
Because the problem is, no. I think to me, I mean, if I was going to give an example of a 5-star match, it's Taker HBK WrestleMania 25.
Oh, excellent. You're really
yeah. I mean, it's just I'm not Dave Meltzer, okay, but I'm not. You know, I don't even know. People lean so much on his star rating. It's just like that's one dude's opinion. But anyway. Like, you know, so anyway, I think it is anywhere between 4.5 and 5. If you could make an argument of 5 out of 5, for, at least, you know, for most people, I think if you were going to grade them, they'd say it was, you know, probably in between that, like between a 4 and a 5. Most people would think that, I don't know how you can think anything different. It was just awesome. And I think it elevated also the women's division as a whole. Like, it's not just about them. It elevated what the women can do to that next level. So.
Yeah, and the fact that we just spent 20 minutes talking about Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley tells you everything you need to know.
Seriously. All right. Well, I hate to keep moving here, but we got Pat McAfee and The Miz happened out of nowhere. I had predicted it was going to be Stone Cold coming out to just drop some stunners on The Miz and some beer, and that would be that. But nope, Pat McAfee came out, and boy, you know, he had the problem is he's also coming up against a match that was easily match of the pay-per-view, match of the year here, candidate with Charlotte and Rhea. But I'll toss it to you here. McAfee beats The Miz pretty quickly, and your thoughts?
I'll be honest, I barely paid attention after this. I needed to get something to eat. I needed to get something to drink. So when I saw Pat come out, I kind of had a feeling it was going to be Pat because I'm like, where is he on the card? Like, it's Pat. Like, of course he's going to be there for WrestleMania. He's so loved. So I was thinking it was going to be someone like him or LA Knight. I was thinking LA Knight as well. There's another guy I was thinking about. So that was actually, believe it or not, that was my sandwich/drink break.
Fair.
I did watch it. I just watched it from far away, so I didn't keep my eyes on it too hardcore. Yeah. Unfortunately, how was it?
It was okay. I mean, you had McAfee hitting his high spots. He had a swanton on The Miz on the outside. Pat does things that you're like, nah, there's no way somebody that looks like him can do these things, and he does. I mean, he's not exactly jacked, let's be honest. He doesn't look like he should be able to do a whole lot physically in the ring, but he does, and you know, credit to him. We got Kittle, who's the tight end for the 49ers, I think. Greg,
I saw that. Yeah, I don't watch too much football other than the Seahawks, so I had no idea who he was.
It was just he got involved, hit a clothesline on The Miz from the outside. And that's when McAfee got the victory here because McAfee hit his punt finish to get the victory. So that's it. So, all right. Yeah, let's move on to the main event here, the Undisputed Tag Team Championships, Usos versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. What did you think, my friend?
Oof. You know, I kind of feel bad for them that Charlotte versus Rhea happened. Because that match was absolutely stunning as well. Like I said, I don't know who booked this show, if it was Triple H or if it was a combination of other people, if it was the usual people or maybe they did some extra work. I don't know what it was, but whoever booked this show, it was just brilliant. So they started off pretty slow, pretty generic type of match, and then they just started to ramp. And once they started to ramp out, about 8 minutes in, it's like it was nonstop action throughout the rest of the match. And the storytelling was so good at the very, very end, which I'll get to in a second. But just the spots were really solid. The action, the athleticism through all the wrestlers were really solid. Having Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn together is just fun to see. It just really is. It's just because you just know it's not faked, right? Like they've been buddies for so long. They love each other, right? So just having them together and defending each other is always nice. And the Usos, man, I don't know, they've really perfected that super kick, man. The amount of super kicks they had, I know people are saying they spam them too much, sure, but man, they some of those hits, man, so clean, like so clean. And then you see the replay, you're like, oh, he actually didn't hit him, but man, it looked like he did, right? So really good. And then, of course, like the end, the haluva kick, by the Uso, was it Jey Uso there? And then obviously, they had the kickouts moments there, and then you had Sammy with the haluva kick into another haluva kick, and he's holding them in his arms. And the best part is when he had the third one, or right before the third one, actually before the second one as well, he took a moment. Like, did you catch that? Like on the back, like in the corner of the ring, and he took a breath. He took a moment, like, and that's storytelling. Like, that is just like, it's like he went through all his emotions, all his history. It's just like, this is the moment. This is it. And he hit him one last time. 1, 2, 3. Big hug. It was, like I said, like the false finishes were so good too. Like, there's a lot of times I thought maybe just maybe. But no, it was really well done. A perfect way to end the night on a good, happy note. And I guess we could talk about this. I do feel that Rhea and Charlotte probably should have main evented. But for storyline purposes, for considering Sammy's been carrying the company with Roman for the entire year. They gave him that moment, and I think that's okay too. So yeah,
and I understand why they main evented, because I don't think anyone expected Rhea and Charlotte to outdo this tag team match. And this, from a storyline perspective, that's exactly right. I mean, they went with the hottest story, and it was the hottest story. It was hotter than Rhea and Charlotte. The thing is, once you get two men or two women or multiple men, multiple women in a matchup, they can make up for lost time. Meaning, like, if they have a crap story, that can all be erased quickly if the match blows you away, and that's exactly what happened with Charlotte and Rhea and others. This match here with the tag team championships, I think over-delivered even by my expectations. And if Rhea and Charlotte didn't happen, then I'd say this was match of the night, in my opinion. If Rhea and Charlotte didn't happen, or it was just kind of ho-hum, and it wasn't. So those kinds of things you can't predict. And of course, in hindsight, we'd all say, yeah, Rhea and Charlotte should have main evented, but no one going in would have said that because the storyline didn't dictate it. So, but hey, that's the point, is to force management. If I was in a position where I wanted to be the main event, put them in a position where they're forced to make you the main event. Kick ass in the match, and that's exactly what those two women did. But this match, as far as what you expected here, the storytelling was awesome, and it has been awesome. The entirety of this Bloodline story with Sammy has been and continues to be awesome. Them getting the victory, as you said, that little pause by Sammy was impactful. It told you everything you needed to know without any words. And then them getting the victory was the right thing to do, because now the storyline becomes, does the Bloodline begin to crumble? How does Roman Reigns react to them losing the championships? And I have my own theories on that. It's a great story to tell moving forward, and I'm sure they could do a rematch at Backlash or whatever they want to do. But there was no turn by Owens. I was concerned they were going to do that. None of that. It was just a straight up Zayn and Owens capture the championships, and it's a feel-good moment. They get revenge on the Bloodline, but now where does the Bloodline go?
And now just think about this, man. You have Roman Reigns. If he wins and he pulls off the win, the next SmackDown he can be like, Usos, you suck. You betrayed us. You lost. You're out of the Bloodline. Solo Sikoa, you lost clean to Cody Rhodes, and I just beat him. You're out of the Bloodline. Paul Heyman, you're supposed to be managing these people. They lost on your watch. You're out of the Bloodline. I'm just going to do this by myself, right? I'm Roman Reigns, right? I could see something like that happening, but it was just such a good match, and it's crazy because Sami Zayn, I knew they needed him to win, right? Because you had the moment in Montreal where kind of got taken from him, and I get it with Roman, but man, wouldn't it have been nice, huh?
I mean, I don't want to get into that. I would, yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah.
But the fact is, they did give him a main event WrestleMania moment, so it's not like they cheesed him out, right? They gave him a hell of a moment, so they probably said at that time, hey Zayn, you're gonna lose in Montreal, but we'll give you the WrestleMania main event, or at least WrestleMania moment, right, with KO. So I think that was probably communicated.
And I think in any other, the thing is though, like in any other WrestleMania, I'd be like, that was a great way to reward Sammy for all the work he's done, and all. You could say that this is, I mean, he's main eventing night one of WrestleMania and winning the tag team championships. What better way to give him a prize? But the problem is, I think a lot of people are looking at this as maybe a consolation prize. Like, it's like, oh yeah, thanks, thanks a lot, but he should be in the main event winning the championship. And based on the crowd reaction, I mean, people loved it, and they should, and it is a huge moment. But the problem is when you go from Montreal, which is the absolute dream scenario for someone to win a championship, the perfect scenario, they'll never get that back, to well, he's going to win the tag belts with Kevin Owens. It's like, oh, like it's people are like, oh, that's cool, but we had this monster extreme scenario for Sammy in a perfect scenario, and then you're going to drop him to the tag team championship. So I think some people probably look at it that way, but either way, it was executed to perfection, and the crowd was with them, and it's going to be fun to see the dynamic with Sammy and Kevin of how they react together, what their chemistry is like, and how long their run ultimately is. And as you mentioned, the bloodline. I think Sammy and Kevin have driven even a further wedge, specifically with Jay and Roman, where Roman is going to talk about how they've disgraced the family, they've dishonored the family, and now I have to be the one to carry your load in this family, and just berate him week after week after week to eventually lead to a Jay Roman story.
Could it happen as soon as tomorrow night, man?
Yeah.
Like, you could do backstage promos of Roman unleashing his fury on the Usos, man, and have Jay. You can have Jay and the Usos cost Roman Reigns. Like, it's not the sexy option, right? But it's definitely, if they want to end it more like in-house instead of like the whole surprise thing with The Rock or something, that's definitely a way of doing it. I don't think it's going to be clean. I don't think there's any way it's going to be clean either way. Either Randy Orton gets involved with Cody, or Seth gets involved with Cody, or, you know, you have Reigns get involved with, I guess, The Rock after he wins or something. But, like, I just don't see any sort of clean finish here at the end of WrestleMania. Because I don't think Cody, like, you know, like, the story is that, and it's been a decent build, I think. Decent. I thought last week could have done a little bit more, because, like, they're, okay, do a shoot promo. Like, shoot. And then there's kind of, like, Cody was kind of thinking about doing it, and then they kind of just stopped, and then they just ended the show with Reigns. I just feel like they could have had, like, that big back and forth, kind of like Cena and CM Punk had, where they went back and forth there for, like, 20 minutes. I thought that would be great, but it's been a decent build. But, again, like, Cody doesn't need this win tonight, or tomorrow. He doesn't. He doesn't need it. He can win the WWE Championship and finish the story at SummerSlam. He can finish the story at any other time. Like, he doesn't have to beat Roman at WrestleMania. And you know what? Roman is really close to 1,000. And, you know, the Saudi Arabia shows the 1,000th day, by the way.
Yes, it is. And who his opponent's going to be is very interesting. I don't think it's going to be.
It's not The Rock.
No, I very much doubt it's going to be The Rock. But it could be. I mean, it could be a rematch of Cody. I think it could be a Jey Uso story with his cousin there, and then Jimmy's conflicted. And yeah, so if I was to guess, I'd say Jey Uso rather, versus Roman at the Saudi show on his 1,000th day. That ultimately, if that day is his 1,000th day, and if they count that already as 1,000 and he's past it, then, you know, maybe there's an argument to be made where Jay could win there. But if they're saying, well, in order to get to that 1,000th day as champion, Roman has to beat Jay.
Yeah, I think
you know
that's
what I mean?
More likely. And then he's going to come back on SmackDown or Raw, and then you could have your next major challenger. So, like The Rock, for example.
Yeah, we keep mentioning The Rock, and I know we talked about it a few minutes ago. So let's get to it, because you and I had very similar predictions for the main event of WrestleMania tomorrow night that we don't know yet, obviously. But you said that there was something on The Rock's Twitter feed that may allude to a big tease. What was that?
Okay. I didn't actually listen to it yet, but it's like everywhere. But it's everywhere. I literally just type The Rock here, and I'll tell you exactly what he actually said.
So, guys, while he's doing that, just so you know, we have both predicted that tomorrow night Roman wins, beats Cody, and then after that, The Rock comes out when Roman's holding up his championships, confronts Roman, and then, I predicted it was going to be a WrestleMania 40 from WrestleMania to WrestleMania challenge. So that's what we think. The Rock's coming out after the main event is what we have predicted. So
here, I could play in the
go
background if you like. Let's see let me know if you can hear this. This is great podcasting.
Yeah,
can you hear this?
Turn it up a little more.
Especially with my cousin, Roman Reigns, the Universal Champion. And to my family, my Yainga, my Ohana, the entire Bloodline, Jay, Jimmy, Solo, we're so proud of you guys. Kick ass, electrify SoFi Stadium. Do what you do. It is in our blood. And who knows, maybe, just maybe, down the road, I'll see you in person.
There you go.
That's not a tease. That's like it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I mean, like, but it doesn't mean it's gonna happen tomorrow night. That's the thing.
It didn't sound like it was gonna happen tomorrow.
He said
night, but it does sound.
But if he was, why would if he was gonna do it tomorrow night, he wouldn't. He wouldn't be very transparent about it. He would be like the way he is there, where down the line sounds like months or years away. So I mean, absolutely. But he knows what fans are going to do with this. They're going to take this and go, oh my God, like could he show up tomorrow night?
Oh yeah, my buddy already made a video on it within 5 seconds of him doing it, and he texted me and he's like, "Hey, where's your Rock video?" And I said, "I'm doing something more important. That's hanging out with you now."
That's nice.
More important than the Rock. Okay. Just remember, I sacrificed the Rock, Dwayne Johnson, for you.
Never forget. Yeah. So given that, what do you think though? Are you still? What do you think about your prediction for tomorrow night? You think you're going to stick with your guns, or are you going to change?
I'm changing it now
All
after
right.
hearing that. I'm going to say Randy Orton costs Cody Rhodes. The match starts Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton at the next major pay-per-view, and you have Roman Reigns wins, and then you start the build-up for Jay versus Roman Reigns at the Saudi Arabia pay-per-view. With the pending breakup of the Bloodline being involved. Now, there you have it.
Fair enough. That was one of my dark horse picks, was Randy Orton coming out, RKOing, costing when the referee's down, hitting an RKO on Cody. Some people are out of nowhere. It's got to be out of nowhere. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with my guns and just go down with my ship. I'm gonna go down with my damn ship. I have to, but this is it. This is my final curtain call for The Rock. I'm sticking with The Rock coming back tomorrow night, challenging Roman Reigns to a year out at WrestleMania 40. That gives The Rock a full damn year of getting his schedule clear that we constantly hear about, which is insane. But if you can't schedule something a year out, I mean, come on, bro. So I think WrestleMania 40, it's a nice round number. It's in Philly, which I thought about. Philly is a bit of a place that they have history with Roman and Rock, because at the Royal Rumble in 2015, when Roman Reigns won and The Rock came out to help him, and they booed The Rock and Roman Reigns in Philly. I mean, you could draw on that of how, that they rejected you then, they're going to reject you now. Like, I mean, there's things that you can do. There's a little bit of symmetry there. And again, WrestleMania 40 sounds like it's a bigger show than WrestleMania 39, and it gives The Rock a full year. So,
Matt, I'm telling you don't do this final prediction, because it's not crazy to think that it might not happen tomorrow, and then you have an announcement from the WWE that it says Roman Reigns is going to be kicking off or main eventing Monday Night Raw, and it's Raw after Mania, and it's very, very possible that they could do. Remember, a long, long time ago, they had a 1-year booking of John Cena and The Rock, and it happened not at WrestleMania. No, it happened on Monday night.
But The Rock was at WrestleMania the night before and hit a rock bottom on John Cena. So, I mean, if you're going to have I think if you have The Rock available, you bring him out at WrestleMania. It's Wrestle-damn-mania. I mean, like, I understand what you're saying, but you got to have, if you have the option of having Dwayne there the night before, I mean, what better way to end the show, get people buzzing, instead of just looking at this going, Roman holding up his championships. I mean, we've seen that for like 3 years straight of pay-per-views ending. He's holding up the belts, the fireworks are going off, and, that's it. So I think that you need to do something massive. The Rock doesn't need to be in shape. If he delivers a rock bottom, he can do that, and then just makes a statement or just stares at him, and they both stare at the WrestleMania sign or whatever as kind of a symbolic, I've got your ass next year type of thing. And then, of course, follow up on Monday Night Raw. The other thing is you could have him pass the 1,000 days with Jay, and then on the Monday Night Raw after that, which selfishly I'll be there for here in Albany, you could have because they'll probably have a 1,000-day celebration. They'll be promoting it all over. Roman Reigns is celebrating the 1,000th day and all this and that, and you can have The Rock come out there. Of course, that's just me being selfish, but there's multiple ways to do this. But I'm sticking by my guns. I'll go down with my ship, guys. I swear.
You just said you wanted to see The Rock live in Albany. You think he's going to show up in Albany instead of WrestleMania in Los Angeles? No offense to Albany.
We're the capital of New York. We're the capital of New York. Yeah.
Come on. There's no chance. It's going to be WrestleMania LA, and that's it, or the Raw after. So
I know.
But I do hope it happens in Albany because that would be hilarious to see. You can text me, you can text me next when that happens and be like, "See, I told you so."
Well, here's the thing too. I strategically got my tickets right where the camera is pointing towards. On the lower level, not on the floor, but on the first row of the lower level, right where the camera is the entire time. So that means I'm going to be utilizing WWE's free advertising for my show and bringing a sign of my show and seeing if that gets confiscated or not. We'll find out. So I should be highly visible all night on the Monday Night Raw after. So. Yeah,
I'll look up for it for sure.
But all right, well, is there anything else? I don't know if there was anything else you wanted to talk about for tomorrow night or any thoughts in general about WrestleMania.
I'm curious if Finn Balor is going to come out in a purple demon. I'm curious about that. I know this is the type of things I'm thinking about. I'm curious to see if Gangrel is going to join Edge there. I feel really bad for Asuka having to follow that up. Let me even look at the Night 2 card because I'm actually drawing a blank on some of this stuff real quick here.
Triple threat, the IC title.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, then that's gonna be that could be contender for match of the night because what's they did flippily stuff this show when it comes to like the showcase, and that's going to be like the physical, hard-hitting triple threat match. So that should be good. And then Brock Lesnar and Omos. I think that's going to be a really good match because remember, if people forget, Omos and was it Braun
Lashley?
Who was it? Was it Braun Strowman?
Bobby Lashley and him had, I think, a really good match.
Was it Lashley?
Lashley and Omos. They had a couple of matches. Yeah.
I thought that was Braun Strowman.
I think Braun Strowman had a match with them too. Yeah. Yeah.
What was the one on the pay-per-view, which was so good?
I think it was Braun Strowman.
Yeah, I think it was Strowman, because then Strowman was, like, talking crap on Twitter about, like, I think it was Strowman. That was so good. And I think if you book it properly, and remember, Brock Lesnar, people don't even, like, realize he's one of the best sellers in the industry, if not, like, the best seller. Like, he will make Omos look strong, for sure. I don't know who's going to win that one, but... it's Vince McMahon booked this one for sure.
It's got Vince's 100%. Fingerprints all over it. I mean, yeah, it does. Yeah. And it's sad that Bray Wyatt's not going to be involved in anything. And I know that he's got some kind of physical issue.
He might.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he's not completely out of the card, per se, but he doesn't have a match. So.
Yeah, I can't get into the Bray Wyatt stuff too much. I do know a little bit more, but. Let's just say, like, I don't see him honestly showing up at WrestleMania. Yeah. Coming up here, I really don't see. I'd be very surprised if he makes a entrance. Now, if he does come back, I think it's like he'll come back just for WrestleMania. Then you won't see him for a couple months, which doesn't make a lot of sense for me. So I feel like that alone makes me think that he's not going to show up tomorrow, which would be a shame because like the hype was just. Absolutely insane, and then it just, it slowed down, and I don't. Who knows the real reason why? But
what about Riddle? Right? You think Riddle has a chance of coming back tomorrow night?
Yeah, it's possible. I don't think. I think. What kind of what is he gonna do? Like, it has to be a surprise matchup. Something. What is Miz gonna still host?
He's the host of WrestleMania, so I'd imagine he's coming back.
So he'll have maybe another match.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah.
Right, I can see it. Why not?
That's
right?
True.
You think Stone Cold's gonna come back?
I don't see how you can't. I mean, I was predicting that if somebody's gonna come out and run their mouth, whether it's LA Knight, who doesn't have a match and he should,
Yeah, LA Knight. LA Knight.
Having a moment with Stone Cold.
Interrupt
exactly.
the show,
Someone's
right?
going to run their mouth, whether it's The Miz as the host or LA Knight, maybe joins forces with The Miz as a co-host for just that segment, and Stone Cold comes out and hits stunners. Like, I mean, I just don't know how you don't have that happen. He had a match last year. I mean, you'd think that he'd come out and, I don't know. That's my prediction. Yeah.
LA Knight is so
I love him.
over.
I love him.
And I said, a long time ago about, okay, well, when he got into the WWE, I made a video and I said, this is going to be the next megastar in the WWE, and no one's talking about him. And it was on LA Knight, and my video did actually really well. And a lot of people, I'm like, man, this video is doing really well for a completely random NXT video, right? Usually those NXT videos get like 5K. I got like 15, 20K on it. I'm like, what the hell? I didn't realize how popular he was until I started seeing like his social engagement on Twitter and and everything, and I dialed more into him, and I'm like, man, this guy has a talent on the microphone that I don't know if it rivals CM Punk, but he has the potential. I know he's an older guy, but he has the potential of being a guy that doesn't need a match to be insanely captivating. Like he just a mic worker through and through, but he can wrestle. He's not a bad wrestler either. So really,
I can't say enough about it. And it tells you something of how over someone is when they can still get over and they're losing every single match that they're LA Knights, I think.
Hey, he won the last one.
That's what I was going to say, is outside of that, which was, I think, a distraction finish from Dominic. It was an assist from Dominic, which, take that for what it's worth. But outside of that, he's lost every single match. He doesn't still get a whole lot of mic time. And when he does, though, like you said, he's just got something on that mic, that presence that is impossible to teach. It's really something. I'm excited to see where they go with him in 2023. I think after WrestleMania, they're going to have some maybe U.S. title or Intercontinental title plans. I don't know, something for him. Because he is I'm with you, a major star in the making. And he got cheered during the Battle Royal, and people were really angry when he got eliminated from the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. So, yeah, this guy's over.
And you'll be happy to know if you ever go to Costco, and there's a wrestler or someone that's agitating you, you can apparently buy a praying mantis egg case now. So
that is, breaking news. Yeah.
I'm literally staring at it now. This is probably April Fool's, but it looks ridiculous. So real though. It looks so real.
Oh my God. All right. Well, no, this has been a lot of fun. I'm glad we were able to reconnect, man. It's been too damn long, and I know tomorrow night you'll be busy with night 2 and all the things that you've got to do for your channel and everything else. So I'm glad you were able to come on for night 1. This is definitely something we'll have to somehow do more of.
Yeah, it looks like night 2 might be a little tricky for me just because I got to work for 8 hours. Straight from work, I got to go, and I'm doing WrestleMania, obviously watching and doing videos and maybe even a stream. So I'll be pretty tired. But hey, who knows? Maybe if we can text and maybe we can work something out. But thanks for having me on the show, man. Like I said, I'm the Botch Guy on YouTube, and just having you, support me. And I know I haven't been on here a long time, but it's like we haven't missed a beat, have we?
Like riding a bike. Yep.
It's really nice. Like 2 people that like to talk wrestling. Hey, isn't that funny how that works?
I know. It's just so easy and simple to talk. I totally with you, and I'm glad to have you back on. And guys, go check out the channel. It's called the Botch Guy on YouTube. Can't miss him. It's rocketing towards 100K, and hit that subscribe button. So, all right. Well, it's been a joy, man. We'll have to reconnect soon.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.